as a portable John, or do we walk back to the guard shack at my cousin's project to use her John? Either way, we will miss the bus. There's a snowbank, i.e., I suggest, finger pointing, into the factory parking lot. His face grimaces in disgust, despite the fact that he will pee outdoors at the drop of a hat. He tells me that he wants to use the lab at home. I tell him that has to wait till the bus comes to pick us up. So he plays no urgent emergency. The bus is running late. He says that it can't wait till we get home. I tell him to hold on till the bus takes us to the depot and its shiny new bathroom. The bus still doesn't come. He is bouncing like a ball. I gotta go. I tell him that the snowbank is still there. His answer is a desperate yes. So we go into the factory gates. I pull down his pants and tell him to squat. But it's so cold. He bemoans his situation. I tell him if he stands, the poop will dirty his clothes. We fight for dominance. He's standing, me trying to bend his knees. I win and he lands on the ice. Oh, it's so cold, he cries. Just go, va merda. I instruct him while lifting him to a squat, and the grimace on his face tells me that he is going. So I look back down North Main to see if the bus is coming yet. I'm done, he cries in victory. I stand him up, victory. His clothes are clean. However, suddenly it strikes me. I have nothing to wipe him with after his concerted movement. I tell him to brace himself. I scoop up a handful of snow and clean the area in need. Mission accomplished. He is cleaned. I pull up his pants and we dash for the bus as it finally approaches. I am chastened by an apprehensive look of concerned discontent. He sours dourly to me. I have ice in my bum. Sono spiacenti, I say, to keep the language alive. Sorry to have chilled his 3-year-old cheeks. But when in Brockton, necessity is the mother of invention. The bus doors open, and I tell him to come with me. Andiamo, il mio ragazzo. Salta in su, I tell him as we board. He jumping up to the first step. He is happy to get home and change into warm jammies. Addormentarsi, I urge, as he curls up warm and safe to take his afternoon nap. For weeks to come, he rats me out to anyone who will listen. Bad teddy bear grandpa made me poop in a cold snowbank. Every time we wait for the bus at that stop, he points to the spot of his calamity with disdain. That's where I pooped. So I tell him that I will build him a memorial on that spot on which he had to squat. He smiles, impressed that I will make him famous. Hard work never. Years of hard work have broken my back. Years of grinding poverty will soon break my spirit. My eyes see the truth in all its ugly veracity as I cling to survival in a sea of briny swill. Hard work never done nobody no favors. How I feel. I am an old junkyard dog that life has kicked one time too many. Tears come to my eyes as I sit stoic, riding the bus, sitting at work, numb. I cry uncontrollably when I try to talk about how hurt I feel inside. Depression rips through my injured soul like a chainsaw rips cords of wood. They threaten me with lockdown, psych wards to cure my pain, drugs galore to bandage my psyche as it crumbles under the weight of sadness. Families, friends, acquaintances shudder at the horror of my intense failure. Once a rock of indestructible fortitude, I rumble like a tectonic plate as it is slammed by pressure into a devastating earthquake. I have always taken the blows of life with an iron jaw that wouldn't budge. But now, at this pitiful place in my life, I fall apart to pieces of brittle agony. I am an old junkyard dog that life has kicked one time too many. The goddess speaks. A thread in the tapestry of life. That is what the whispering, ancient voice of the unseen woman speaking to me in my dreams, in the back of my subconscious, is in reality. It must be the voice of some long forgotten goddess of antiquity, even when she speaks through the voices of the women I have known. It must be her that allows the spirits of my grandmothers and great-grandmothers to protect and guide me through the trials and tribulations set in my path like booby traps to silence a voice of dissension. The goddess speaks faintly, vaguely, weakly. I can barely discern the sound of her voice, and I sorely wish I could make out the words that she speaks to me, and not just have a vague understanding of what she wants me to tell humanity. I listen intently when I hear of her existence from others who have heard the voice stronger, louder, and can help lead me to her and the destiny she has planned for me as a part of the thread in the tapestry of life. The cutting edge. I live on the cutting edge, not the yuppie fast lane of haute cuisine and condos, but the breakdown lane, a life of gang banging, drug dealing, whore hopping, crack smoking hell. The edge I live on cuts between the affluent haves in safe neighborhoods and the neighborhoods that have been busted block by block into grinding crime and poverty. I live in those few precious blocks, still safe, but ready to fall into urban decay. I hope I won't be trapped when my block is busted to become just another victim, allowed only to live just enough for the capitalist system, drowning in poverty and crime, while the politicians, police, businessmen, yuppies, and Brahmins ignore the cancer even as it approaches their very own doorsteps. They can afford to leave. They don't have to stay. It is my people left to suffer. It is my people who'll pay for yuppie avarice, police corruption, Brahmin arrogance, political war chess, corporate selfishness, as we drowned in urban abandonment among the ruins. Danço o fado. Uma sarara dança. A red-headed mulatto woman dances. She was near 90, but that ain't never broke her kinetic stride. A pale-skinned woman of color with straight gray hair and deep sky blue eyes, whose gray hair had once shone a brilliant auburn. Dos sararas dansam. She took my hand and nodded at the dance floor. 90 or so, she took the lead. A música tucu, e dancimos o fado, old-fashioned country dancing to music that jumped. Sarara dança. Each older Cape Verdean woman took my hand and the lead. Cada uma cabo-verdiana velha dançaram com me. I learned to dança o fado, to a música cabo-verdiana. The evening recaptures a part of my kaleidoscope, of my differing heritages. I get to use my rusty português crioula, com algumas cabo-verdianas velhas. Danço o fado, and I relive the piece of my ancestry from the island of Brava, uma ilha do Cabo Verde. The Portuguese feels good, tripping off my tongue, and I am surrounded by other mixed people, ranging from black to light, hair textures from nappy to straight, eye irises from brown to blue. I am home with my people, mixed mulattoes, for generations of integrations. At the end of a festa aniversaria, given for minha amiga Inês, I thank this gaggle of older Cape Verdean women in the best crioula I can muster. Senhoras, muito obrigado por as danças. I am reunited with a piece of my former life from down Onset Way, and I revel in the sweet thickness of speaking Portuguese once more. For my last poem tonight, you get a little ditty and a dance. And please forgive, I'm not as supple as when I was a teenager, so I don't move that well anymore. Rhyme time. Shake it and bake it, but please don't break it. It took your mama 9 months to make it. That was the chant we used down in the Flint. Sassy teenagers taunting, the prostitutes strutting up and down the avenue as we went anywheres. Crime lurked on every corner in the hell that was Cherry Grove. Sounds nice, don't it? All of the projects got nice sounding names. The project 3 blocks from our corner now names the whole undesirable area. Cherry Grove, so named as it stands at the corner of Cherry and Grove. Cherry Grove sounds fragrant, clean, fresh, healthy, delicate. It sits below downtown, on the hill as it slides down to the river and Battleship Cove, under the interstate which runs up above us, climbing over us. We are in the groin of the Braga Bridge. As travelers look down, as the antenna sticking up from the battleship docked in the cove, we are the blight, a dingy project of bland brick buildings and blocks of dilapidated tenements with no yards, with something on fire day and night, sometimes a car, usually a dumpster. The fire department no longer comes without a protective police escort. I'm sure that tourists from Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, Kansas, Nebraska are shocked that a historic site languishes under a slum. I hear them say something should be done. They are luckier than we, who must live, shop, walk, wheel baby carriages, or go for an ice cream, or the local delicacy, a steamed hot dog, along the hard sidewalks of Pleasant Street in the Flint by Plymouth Avenue, where day and night prostitutes offer themselves to any man who doesn't walk into the gay bar just off the square, next to the sub shop, across from the Chinese restaurant, near the ice cream parlor, the hot dog emporium.